can count on. This is the Mildred Gaddis Show on 102.7 WPZR.
Welcome back to the show. 298-1027 is the number here to the Mildred Gaddis Show. We invite you to pay close attention here to this next story. It has to do with a 15-year-old boy on an ATV being chased by state troopers, and the 15-year-old ends up dead. But first, let me just tell you who's going to help us understand legally what's going on here and what the issues are. Attorney Gerald Thurswell, who has been honored as one of the best lawyers in America by the oldest professional organization that rates lawyers in this country. He has obtained numerous multi-million-dollar jury verdicts and settlements for injured people in courts throughout the state of Michigan, in fact, throughout America. And we're going to give you Attorney Thurswell's phone number to the Thurswell Law Firm at the end of this interview. Good morning. Thank you so much. I know it's been too long. How are you, Counselor?
Good. Good morning, Mildred. How are you?
I am fine. Attorney Thurswell, what do we have here?
Okay. This 15-year-old boy was on an ATV, and apparently, according to the information that I've been provided, he may have been speeding, he may have been driving recklessly, whatever. The police have an absolute right to chase him. They can chase him for an hour or two at high speeds or whatever. That is permissible. What is not permissible is for them to shoot him with a gun or to use the taser. If he is running away from the police and he strikes this vehicle, which ultimately happened in this case, and the police are just chasing him, that's okay. The police have a right to chase him, but they don't have a right to taser him. They don't have a right to shoot him. They don't have a right to set a trap for him. They can chase, but they can't taser, they can't shoot, they can't set a trap that would cause him to lose control of his vehicle. They can't do anything that would cause him to lose control. Chasing is okay because he doesn't have to speed. He can stop speeding. But they add another element into this. When they tasered him and then he loses control and he hits the vehicle and dies, that is what is against the law. That is what is wrong, and that is making the state police and the state trooper responsible for his death. It is as clear as can be. That is what the law is in the state of Michigan.
I want our listeners to listen to this quick story. When we come back, I want to ask you something about it. Attorney Gerald Thurswell, my guest. Let's take a listen to the story.
Police troopers suspended tonight and under investigation over a weekend chase that killed a teenager on an ATV. 7 Action News reporter Brianne Palmerini standing by live on Detroit's east side where that boy crashed. Brianne?
Stephen, I'm standing here off Rossini just before Gratiot. This is where 15-year-old Damon Graves crashed his ATV into the back of a pickup truck and died. And tonight there are a lot of questions still surrounding this crash. 15-year-old Damon Grimes' family is trying to make sense out of this. His sister said he's never been in trouble with the law. He was a 4.0 student. She thinks the officer went too far.
Knowing that they, did too much, I don't understand. Why did y'all have to tase him? He's only 15.
It was Saturday evening when a Michigan State trooper tried to stop Grimes on his ATV for reckless driving. But Grimes didn't stop, and the trooper chased him and used his taser at some point. Grimes slammed into the back of a pickup truck and died. Now Detroit police are conducting an independent investigation.
In no way should this be an implication of criminality, but in any incident, whether it's a Detroit police officer, and in this case a Michigan State police officer, our actions are scrutinized.
DPD has a very restrictive policy when it comes to pursuits.
I know it's been reported out of the 9th precinct from our officers where these young people were at times taunt the police. They're doing what's called wheelies in front of police vehicles, encircling police cars. That's very dangerous. But again, what it amounts to is a misdemeanor at best. Our officers know that we're not to pursue.
I need justice for my little brother. He was a good kid. He didn't deserve it. He had his whole life planned.
Attorney Craig says there's no timeline.
Attorney Thurswell, my question here is, number one, I don't know what the procedure is. Should the Detroit Police Department be investigating this?
Oh, boy. Well, you got to... investigate it. This is a state trooper, a Michigan state trooper. So I guess you only have the Detroit Police Department. Maybe the Attorney General can appoint someone to investigate this, but you can't have the state police investigate themselves.
Right.
Absolutely. I want to say something. The law in Michigan permits these high-speed chases. This is what's permitted, and you can chase and chase. I don't think that should be the law, even though it is, because these people speed and they can hit innocent bystanders while the police are chasing them. If somebody hasn't committed a felony, why do you get involved in these high-speed chases? But that's permissible. What is not permissible in these high-speed chases is to use a taser or to shoot somebody. That is not permissible. And the way the court interprets this, they say, well, you don't have to speed, you don't have to run from the police, and if you get hurt, well, it's just too bad. That's the way our courts have said it. So they permit high-speed chases, which I think is wrong. But where they do draw the line, they draw the line that you can't shoot at somebody who's running away, in a car, and you can't taser them. That's what they did here. They tasered this kid. They tasered him. What did they think was going to happen if you taser a kid who's going at a high speed on this ATV? What's going to happen? He's tasered. He's going to lose control. And exactly what happened is anticipated. It's foreseeable. That's what is so wrong. So wrong. What's the big deal that he was speeding? What's the big deal? So they follow him until his car runs out of gas or until he stops? This tasering it's just outrageous. It's outrageous.
I want our listeners to know that in some states, these chases are illegal unless under certain circumstances. Attorney Thurswell mentioned the term a felony. Generally, unless someone has shot someone or has committed some other felony, it is illegal in some states for police officers to get into these high-speed chases simply because too many innocent people can be killed. And in some places that indeed has been the case. So, Attorney Thurswell, where does this family go from here?
Well, hopefully they'll get a competent lawyer, someone who's very experienced in handling cases like this.
That's what they're going to need on this one.
100%. 100%. And they should be successful. I mean, I think it's undisputed. Everybody admits that they used a taser. You taser somebody who's driving a car. What in the world do you expect? What do you expect? The person's going to lose control and hit something. That's what's going to happen. They knew what was going to happen. Why do it? Why do it? Totally and completely wrong. Completely responsible for the death of this 15-year-old child. And the kid is a child, 15 years of age, and an ATV. It's just crazy. This is it's outrageous. It's outrageous.
Rita, thanks for calling. What's your question for Attorney Gerald Thurswell? Okay, let's put Rita on hold. Her radio is up loud. Sarah, what's your question or comment? What's your question or comment, please? You know what? She's got phone problems. Let's see at this point if Rita's ready to talk. Rita? Rita going once, going twice. Rita?
Oh, here's Rita.
Go ahead, Rita, with your question or comment, please.
My comment is, first of all, they shouldn't be chasing anyone, okay? They know half of these people can't drive. So, and then if you're a child at 15 years old, you shouldn't be chasing anyone, okay? They know over and over, they know they done killed so many people, they done had so many lawsuits. So stop chasing, period. And that's all I want to say.
We appreciate your call, Rita. What is a requirement, Attorney Thurswell, for driving these ATVs? Is there any?
Oh, I don't think they're permissible on the streets. They're ATVs. They're all-terrain vehicles that are to be used off the street. But so what? So what? Go ahead and chase him. He's going to run out of gas. Chase, and he'll ultimately stop. Why taser him? You know what the consequences of tasering him. You arrest people for drunk driving because if you're drunk, you could hit somebody or kill yourself. So you don't. If somebody's drunk, if you taser somebody, you're disabling them. How can they control the ATV? How in the world, if somebody's tasered, are they going to control the ATV? This is so foreseeable. It is so wrong. It is absolutely outrageous. It's outrageous. How in the world they can ever replace a 15-year-old? It's crazy.
You can't.
Outrageous. It's so wrong. It's so bad. Everybody should be screaming about this.
Adrian, thanks for checking in.
Hello, good morning.
Hi there.
Hi. I'm calling in regards to the family of the young man, and my question is, when are the police going to be held accountable for their actions, the things that they do?
In this particular case, hopefully the state police will reprimand, suspend, or do something to the trooper. But as relates to the family will be entitled to monetary compensation for their loss of their 15-year-old son, the loss of a brother. That's a lawsuit where you get monetary damages.
And are there limits? I know that over the years there's been some discussion, Attorney Thurswell, about civil lawsuits. What's the state of things in Michigan now in terms of compensating families in cases like this? Is there a ceiling?
No, there is no ceiling. Absolutely no ceiling in a case like this. No ceiling whatsoever. The value of this child could have been a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. This child doesn't have a life, won't get married, won't have children. The parents won't have grandchildren. A child takes care of their parents when they get old. The loss is tremendous. It's astronomical. A 15-year-old boy. And from the news report that you recorded, this kid is a 4-point student at school.
4.0.
This kid was going to be a superstar.
That's right.
So he made a mistake. One day, for a few minutes on one day, he took an ATV and went on a public street. Does that mean that he should be tasered and then killed? Because the taser actually killed him. You knew what was going to happen when you tasered this kid. You knew he wasn't going to be able to control the ATV. He wasn't going to be able to control the ATV. This was so foreseeable and so wrong and so bad. What was the big deal if the police had just continued to chase him? Finally, he would have stopped. He wasn't going to get away on an ATV with a police car chasing him. He wasn't going anywhere.
Got that right. Had to check in with you on this most important story, people. Some of you, since I'm over here on another signal now, may not remember that it was the Thurswell law firm that handled the case of Tanisha McBride, who was killed on the front porch of a Dearborn home. He also represented the family in the choking death of the young man out in Northland Mall. The Thurswell law firm is known throughout the country for succeeding in filing lawsuits in these kinds of civil cases. I need to give you two numbers for the Thurswell law firm. One is an 800 number. The other one is a 248 number. 800-201-3187. That's 800-201-3187 and 248-354-2222, 248-354-2222, and you can call either of those numbers 24 hours a day. Attorney Gerald Thurswell is always enlightening to have you on to talk about these cases and what the issues are and how families can be made as close to whole as possible. I thank you so much for talking with us this morning.
Thank you, Mildred. Have a good day.
You too. Okay.